Hi guys! So today I'm doing a video on my everyday foundation routine. This is something what I wear usually when I'm going to work or if I'm going to be kind of out and about all day and I really want to look put together. This is something that I will do. This is something that I love to do because it is pretty medium to full coverage and I just feel like this is me 100% feeling really good about myself. So the star of the show today is the Amazonian Clay Foundation Full Coverage from Tarte. Love this stuff if you have really oily skin or even combination of oily. It's really nice. So it's using. What I'm using today, if you guys have any questions or want to figure out how I did my foundation today, just keep on watching. Thank you. So starting off, I'm going to be applying some of my Becca Matte Poreless Perfecting Primer. And I have some squeezed out on my hand. You don't need to use very much of this, and you want to make sure you warm it up between your hands. And the key is to press it in to your skin because it is really drying, so if you put too much it will pill up and break up your foundation, but if you use just the right amount it's gonna look perfect. I have really oily skin, so this really helps combat the oils and help me keep matte during the day. Next, I'm going to be using, I'm going to start off by using the star of the show, which is the Tarte Amazonian Full Coverage Amazonian Clay Foundation. And I love this stuff. I wear the shade Medium Sand. And I'm just going to be buffing it out with my Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques. So what I like to do is I literally like to just draw lines on my face with my foundation. And going in with my foundation brush and just buffing it in circular motions. So if you can just see, it takes away from all the redness. This matches my neck more so than it matches like my actual like color on my face, because I'm really fair and I have a lot of redness on my skin. So I like using a foundation that is a really strong yellow tone. And then I like to go over it with my beauty blender and just dab and make sure I have no streaks, but this brush does a really nice job of giving me the coverage I want without like leaving marks on my face. So going on over with my other side too, I'm just going to be doing the same thing all over my face. I do tend to use quite a bit of this foundation, but I really like it. It wears really well on me. I can wear this 9 hours plus and it will still be on my face. It doesn't break up, which is what I've had problems or issues with before in the past with different foundations, is that they'll look really nice, but towards the, after a certain amount of hours, usually around that 7-hour mark, it'll start breaking up on me and like it'll get all separated around my nose and cakey around my the sides of my nose. Ta-da! Now I just have my nose to do left, and I like to use my, here it is. It's this concealer stick from CoverGirl, and it's just in the shade, I think it's Deep 567, and I just like to contour my nose under my foundation. So I just draw 2 lines down, and then do one right here. That's kind of what I do with my nose, at least for contouring. I just like the illusion of having a slimmer nose. And same deal. My face that now matches my neck for the most part. And obviously I'm still going to add like bronzer, blush, highlight, the whole shebang, but this is kind of where I feel pretty content with my face, and I just like to go in with some concealer. I don't usually conceal, like spot conceal. I more so just use concealer under my eyes. And the concealer I'm using right now is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I use the shade Light Neutral. It's kind of like a doe foot. I really like the applicator because you get a good amount of concealer on both sides. So I just like to, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a baby in the other room laughing. And then I like to do just one line down the bridge of my nose, a little bit at the center of my forehead. I'll do just a little bit right here. just to even it out, just because it tends to look weird when you have just super brightness right here but nowhere else. And using my damp beauty blender, I'm going to go in, I'm going to use this as a mirror because I need to see what I'm doing because this mirror that I have in front of me is a little far. And what I really like about this concealer is that it tends to look, it doesn't look cakey or it doesn't look heavy under the eyes. It just does a really nice job of covering any redness, kind of neutralizing it, and I just like the coloring a lot of the concealer itself. If you can't afford this, which is like 30 bucks, because it is kind of pricey for a concealer. I mean, the foundation I believe is $39, so I'm basically almost paying the same price. Or it's $29, I believe. I really like the Sephora Collection Gel Serum Concealer a lot. It's really nice. But I really like that. It kind of does the same thing. I am trying that one out and it works really well. I use it on clients all the time and I just love the effect it does. Now, going in with setting powder, I use this one right here, which is the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. Just gonna tap some on, and I like to apply some with my beauty blender under my eyes. I do really weird faces when I set my concealer. And then I just like to bake a little bit under. Oh shit. That made me like sweat for a minute. So I'm just gonna put some down the center of my nose because that's where I get the most oily. I'm grabbing a little bit more and just in the center of my forehead. So, looking a little crazy, but it helps me definitely keep matte, especially this powder. If you have drier skin, oh, I like how you can see my brow straps. I would kind of stay away from it just because it is really, really drying, which I like, but I definitely don't think it works well for drier skin. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Sephora Collection. It's just a powder brush. And whatever's left in the little thing right here, I just like to swirl my brush around and buff it into my skin. I like that this doesn't move around the foundation, which is something I was worried about when I first started using this brush, is that it was going to move my foundation or leave marks on my face. And what I've just started doing recently is I like to use my Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. And I like to use this little contour brush from Real Techniques, and I like to mix this yellow shade and this shade right here, which it doesn't show up on camera, but it's pretty orange. I feel like the orange helped color correct any darkness that I still might have under my eyes. Just like to tap off the excess. Oh shit, I just got all over my lash. And then I just like to buff away the excess powder that I had from the Mercier that I left to bake a little bit. You can totally hate my parents. Okay. Bam! Nice and matte. Just how I liked it. So, now I will get back to this, but first I do like to use my NARS Laguna bronzer. I'll put it like this. And I just like to use a big angled brush, kind of like this one. This one's from Sigma. And I just like to tap off the excess, and I just like to start up here at my temples. Grab a little bit. And I'm just like holding it from the very far back, just to warm up my complexion before I go in with a contour color. And down here in the jawline, just I don't really have a jaw. I have a really round face, so. Okay. So, we have warmed up the complexion, and now I like to go in with my Shade and Light palette. I usually end up using These two shades are the two lighter ones. I don't go into this one too often. So, I mean, if you're going to buy a contour palette, I don't think you need to buy a whole, you know, 6-shade contour palette. You really just need 2 colors or even a bronzer at the most. I'm going to be using my Sigma F05 small contour brush. I also have one from Sigma, and I'm just going into this. Anyway, back here, I just like to do small circular motions with my contour. And then for blush, I really am loving right now the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Mood Exposure right now. I just think it's such a beautiful natural color, and I feel like it just works really well with my complexion. Again, I'm using like only Real Techniques brushes because they're affordable and I love them. This one's the Duo Fiber Contour Brush, but I like to use it for blush. I just feel like it's shaped perfectly. So just kind of on the tops of my cheeks, and I like to blend it backwards into my contour and bronzer. And it just helps. It's like a very warm, kind of like peachy tone. I don't know if you can see that in this lighting, but it's just the most beautiful blush ever. I like this on medium skin tones a lot. Okay. Then last but not least, I'm going to be using a highlighter. Right now, the one that I'm loving is Champagne Pop from Becca Cosmetics, which everyone knows what that one looks like. It's a beautiful shimmery gold color. And I'm just going to go in with this fan brush from Sephora collection as well. I'm just going to dust it on my cheekbones. And then it just catches the light super pretty. Awesome. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I'll show you guys kind of the completed look. My final step, which is spritzing on the Urban Decay De-Select Setting Spray. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I finished doing my makeup, so I smoked out my lower lash line, put on some lipstick, and yeah, the last finishing touches of my makeup are usually just spraying my face down with the De-Select Makeup Setting Spray from Urban Decay, and oh, okay, I totally just tasted that by accident. Don't eat that, because it tastes really gross. But yeah, this stuff is awesome. I just like how it kind of takes away from the powdery finish that sometimes my Laura Mercier powder can give me after baking. So, especially under the eyes, I'm trying to find something better that I'll, you know, for under my eyes, because sometimes I feel like this stuff can be just a little drying, but I think for all over the face if you're oily, oh god, scent. So, that is what I'm doing. That's my makeup for today. So like I said, this is my everyday foundation routine. If you guys have any questions, would like to do my, learn my lazy girl foundation routine, please let me know in the comments down below. Because I do realize this is kind of a process. Not everyone has time to do so many steps every single day. So I do have a quicker one that I like to do on my days off. This is something I usually wear to work. And then I also have another foundation routine that I like to do when I'm going out, or if I'm gonna I don't know, if I want like super mega full, like flawless coverage, I do have a separate routine for that. But this is pretty much it for today. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my video today. And I think my next video will probably be in Spanish. So look out for that one. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day.